Hello and welcome to another Franchise Hockey Manager stream. My name is Adam. I'm the community manager of Franchise Hockey. With me, as always, and not digitally pictured on your screen, is FHM producer Jeff. Say hi, Jeff.
Hey, everybody.
And we are back with Cleveland Dreaming, the 1977-78 Cleveland Barons Slidin Away, Part 25. Jeff, it is officially our last stream.
Of this game. So,
Yes.
yep, the Barons will be going out of business at the end of this season. The 2 seasons in Cleveland slash Richfield didn't work out for them. Attendance was pretty bad. People weren't coming out to the games because it was a long, long drive out from Cleveland. Actually, a shorter drive from Akron. And the team in real life was, I think, doing pretty badly. They finished fourth last, fifth last. I just remember they were tied for the Canucks with the Canucks on points in their final season. So the league will be getting rid of us soon, but we've got a chance to win one more cup before we go, which would be kind of embarrassing for the NHL to have to fold a team, right, or at least merge a team right after they win the cup. So let's see if we can do that. And well, what's going on with the Kings this year? Yeah, they got goaltending. They got some decent players. Bob Gainey. Not a lot of scoring, but Thomas Gradine, Joey Mullen coming up. Although they got no depth at all, it looks like. So stop one line, you stop the whole team. So yeah, that's why they're so bad. But let's move on with this. And we did get off Nielsen back after missing the entire pretty much first half of the season with an injury.
Okay.
So he's back. I've got him back on the first line, but I've got the first line because Trottier was doing so well. I've got the first line playing pretty much even minutes with the second one. And Nielsen is the first star in his first game back. 1-0 win over the Flyers.
Excellent.
And media is praising Joe Meloche for the shutout, so sure, we'll go along with that. And Joe, you made a trade offer?
We did?
Yeah, Ernie Hick for Jeff Geiger, the rights to Jeff Geiger.
Oh, right. We were trying. Yeah. We just wanted a depth piece for, was it the wing?
Yeah, they didn't go for it, so I'll wait until we're closer to the trade deadline. Maybe there'll be something else out there. And speaking of the Canucks, get them next. And 2-1 win. The fairly close wins, but we're still getting them. And I'll throw the backup, Denny Herron, in for the game against the Islanders. Second game in 2 nights. And he gets a 4-1 win. And a few guys being waived. Nobody particularly interesting. We did pick up Gord Lane on waivers. It was waivers, right?
Well, that sounds right.
Yeah, last week. And Andre Savard is day to day with bronchitis, so I'll just swap John French in for a game for him. But Lemaire can go up to the second line, or third line rather.
Yeah, right. We got Lane on waivers to help boost our defensive depth.
And 5-3 win over the Canadian, or the Islanders rather. But now we got 4 games and 4 nights. So this is probably going to wear our guys down a bit. Keep an eye on fit. The fitness looks okay for the second game.
Breeze837 says Dennis Maruk is greater than the rest of the whole 1977-78 Barons.
We don't have Maruk in this one. Where do you wind up in this game anyhow? Oh, well, he went to Washington early. That's right. But missed a couple of months with a torn groin this year, looks like. But he's more or less on track with his real career. And, well, Eric Vale is really wearing out, so I'll put him on the fourth line for this game. Move Tardif up to the second. And we lose 6-3 to the Leafs. And now Greshner's hurt. So this little string of consecutive games is wearing us out a bit. Yeah, we got guys into the 60s now, so
Well, that's a lot of games at all at once.
yeah, I'm just gonna put a couple of the third line. Well, Eric Field down to 42%. Yeah, Breton gets a game for him. And I'm just gonna let the AI pick the lines for this one. I'll put Malash back in. And we get blown out by the Penguins. So yeah, don't play 4 games in as many nights, and that won't happen to you.
Shocking.
And we get a fairly brief break, but now at least Savard is back. And everybody, yeah, that was enough to get everybody back to 100% at least.
Well, that's good.
Okay. 2-game losing streak. Pretty rare for us. And we get a 4-2 win over Montreal. But Eric Vale, after getting back to full health, immediately gets hurt. So LeBratton comes back in. So real NHL, 1 game to go in the season. I think that's just the Calgary. Is it Calgary and LA playing?
Sorry, say that one more time.
There's only
My
one game
brain.
left in the NHL season right now. So the
Oh
real
yeah,
one.
I was on. Yeah. Oh, Breeze837 says, I see you have Pronovo, a player I kind of know. Breeze, tell us more.
And 7-0 blowout over Colorado. Provo's been our captain. This one he's been pretty good, and now Salming's getting hurt. We've had a lot of injuries this year. Ooh, not
Yeah.
good. Grade 2 concussion, 3 to 4 months.
Ooh.
So
Calgary's up 1-0 right now.
this is a nothing game, isn't it? I don't think that can change anything in the standings. I think the playoff pairs are all set. Winnipeg getting St. Louis in the first round. You happy with that?
Yes. Yeah, everything's. Am I happy with it? It was my least favorite matchup, but I'm still not overly worried. If that makes sense. It was of all the combinations who they could have played, but honestly, they don't. St. Louis looks a lot less intimidating without Dylan Holloway, but Binnington's going to Binnington too. So
Yeah. And even worse news in Salming for the Penguins. Rick Martin is gone for 9 months. We're getting up near the point. Well, no, it's a few more years later than this until injuries ended his career in real life. But he's going to be gone for the year, so Pittsburgh's in trouble. And the All-Star Game roster's announced. We put 4 on the team. Malash, Vadney, because Salming and Robinson are both injured, so Vadney's the only one of our guys to get on the All-Star defense for the Wales Conference. That's, I think, the worst showing we've had in a few years. And Trotche and Hedberg. Other than that, no.
that makes way more sense.
What?
No, just reading Breeze's message.
Ooh, that's ugly. 9-6 loss to the Bruins. Mike Bossy with 4 points. Bossy wound up in Boston this game. And play the All-Star game. Wales over Campbell. And how did our guys do? Trotche had a couple of points. Vadney had an assist. And Malash, not bad. Only 1 goal against. Okay, now getting back to the regular schedule. So Salming I might as well put on the injured list. He's not going to be back for a while. How close is Robinson? 1 to 2 months still, so. Yeah, probably a good
Wait.
thing we picked up Lane.
Well, we lost somebody on waivers too. I forget who it was.
It was whoever we sent down after we got Lane. Was it defenseman, I remember.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to pick up Bill Butters. Finally makes the big team.
Sweet name. Sweet name.
And he'll get a game because Greshner is still hurting. But I do not. Yeah, I don't think I want that Butters and Lane as our first pair.
No, I would agree. That's probably not ideal.
Oh, I forgot to give Butters a number. And should also check his player role. So I don't think that's been set yet. Oh, old school defenseman's on the right one. That's fine. Just letting the AI do the lines to fix a defenseman problem. And we get a narrow 3-2 win over Chicago with Danny Erhan in goal. Man, we're getting a lot of games packed in close here. And I didn't redo the lines that time. We lose 3-2 to the Stars. And Greshner is back at least, so. Butters, after an undistinguished couple of games, can go back out. Anything? Oh, yeah. Vale is healthy again, so LeBratton comes out. And Meloche is cooled right off after being fairly hot at the start of this. But we do get a win, 4-2 off Nielsen with the hat trick, so he apparently hasn't lost anything after the injury at least. Now the media doesn't like Meloche. They're criticizing him. I'm going to defend him a little bit. Not like we'll be dealing with this media after this season. Development report, and you can see, yeah, this team is rapidly aging. A lot of guys going downhill. So we're kind of getting out at the right time here, I think. Wow, 11-5 win over Detroit. And Trotche with a 6-point night. 6-1 after the first period, so. Did they fight back a little bit? Not really. They never got
Okay, sorry, I had to step away for a moment.
Yeah, they never got within about 3-4 goals. 11-5 win over the Wings.
Cardinals fan. Welcome. Jeff's trying to blow it.
And yeah, apparently now Hedberg's hurt. Strained oblique, 2 to 3 weeks.
Which we just seem to be aging out.
No, don't want to delay treatment for Hedberg. At least we're getting a little bit more rest here than we had been.
For playing 4 games in 4 nights.
Yeah, that's kind of where things start to go wrong in this stream. Had a pretty good start and then struggled after that, and 4-3 loss to the Flyers now.
Okay, big message from first time chatter, FM fan YT. He says, Adam and Jeff, if we take a logo from, say, Wiki, from a former team that is no longer around, what does the logo side need to be for FHM 11? 150 by 150? Yes. It needs to be 150 by 150 PNG with a.
Transparent background?
Yes, I was going to say invisible, but that wasn't the right word. Transparent. What team are you looking for there, FM fan? And then he says, my other question is, if you join a league, say OHL, on July 1st, 2025, do you get to enter the 2025 rookie draft on July 6th or no?
Uh, for 2025, yeah, you would be taking over. There would be the. Oh wait, when did
Yes.
we? I'm trying to remember the. Trying to remember if the junior drafts are before or after the end of the season now. Assuming it's on July, yeah, assuming it is the first week of the season, the new season, you would be in the draft as a team. Okay, Hedberg already recovering. That's good. 1 to 2 weeks, but at least it's only a yellow injury at this point. How's Lane been? Yeah, Lane has 5 points in 11 games, 21 penalty minutes, +6. Pretty good showing for him. Would rather he
Not
wasn't
bad for
in
a
at
guy who
all.
got picked up on waivers.
Yeah. And replay last year's Stanley Cup final, and we come away with a 6-0 win over the Sabres, who seem to be having a little bit of trouble this year. Some guys on waivers.
Any defenseman?
Jerry Hart, too. Like Lane, guy who left the Islanders just as they started to get good. I know Lane came in as they started to get good. Hart left. That's right. They got Lane from Washington. And then another Islander who went to Colorado right when the Islanders started winning. Bob Lorimer is in there too. And he was with us too for a while. Nobody I really want. Fitness okay here? Yeah, we're looking better. Try Watson on the first pair. It's only Washington, so that shouldn't go too badly. Ooh, 2-2 tie against the Capitals. That's as bad as a loss.
Ah, okay. Yeah, you should be able to get them off Wikipedia or maybe even Chris Kramer, but sometimes you're going to have to do some editing for them to look right.
And 7-3 winning in the Islanders, so the injuries aren't slowing us down too much. And yeah, Reggie Leach was a little hurt too, so he is sitting out at the moment for LeBreton. I put him in. 6-1 win over Atlanta. Dave Lumley, who's also in for an injury, has 3 points. First star, nice game for him. And Leach is healthy again, so LeBreton comes out, and we can get our first line. Well, not quite back yet because Edberg's out, but he's now down to day-to-day, so we should be getting him soon. And Lumley again. Lumley produces whenever we put him in. We just don't have room for him, really. 5-3 win over Vancouver, who's really struggling this year after making a dumb trade to pick up Gordie Howe in what turned out to be his final season last year. Hedberg is almost back. And 4-4 tie against the Leafs. And Hedberg says he's ready. Is he ready? Yes, he's ready. Back out for Lumley. And I don't really need John French. I'm going to send him back to the minors. Oh, he's one star. If he gets picked up, whatever.
Sorry, I had to step away there for a moment.
Yeah. Nothing too eventful. We got Hedberg back. 5-2 win over the Canadians. Flyers and Sabres making a trade. Flyers picking up Jurgen Pettersson, who I think has been stuck in the minors with Buffalo. Now, how close are we to the deadline here? It's only a week or so away, I think. Now 2 weeks, March 10th. Back against Buffalo, who's got their backup in, and he holds us to a 1-1 tie. Yeah, Larry Robinson's almost back. Salming's still showing 2 to 3 months though, so that may be a little iffy for the playoffs. And the Canucks beat us 4-1.
7 is a prime number. I don't believe that's possible for OOTP.
Yeah, they took all of those out. Something with a license. I can't remember. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, it's something license related. I don't remember exact things.
Okay, do we have Robinson? I'm going to put Robinson back on the active roster at least, even though he's still day-to-day, so we can put him back in right away when he's ready. Yeah, 3-2 win over the Kings. Although, yeah, the Kings were terrible, so that's not that much of an achievement, I guess. We get Cesar Maniago back. Detroit's finished with him, looks like, and this is around the time he was done in real life too. I think he had got one more year in the game than he had. I don't know, 77, 78 was his last year with the Canucks. And Brian Trottier is Player of the Month. Development report. Yeah, and the guys going up are not really the ones we want to go up, and we got a lot going down, and a lot of the key players too. And Pronovo bruised his toe, so Lumley gets a game.
Well, this nice roster balancing sure is fun with an old team.
Yeah, I mean, if we're playing this longer, I probably would have started to use young guys a little more often, but we know what's going to happen in a few months, so starting to see some trades as we get closer to the deadline. Robinson's still not quite healthy. Neither is Pronovo. And Vale's tiring out, so I'll move him down to the fourth line. And the Flames beat us 2-1. Mickey Redmond, we had his brother Dick for a while, but he was causing a whole bunch of morale problems with fighting with other guys in the team, so we had to get rid of him. And looks like Mickey is pretty much done at this point. Dunn, D-O-N-E, not to be confused with Dave Dunn, the other guy on the waiver list. Trade deadline 1 week away. And it sounds like there's a lot of guys going onto the trading block right now, so we're going to have a look at that when we get up to the deadline. And Robinson is healthy. So Lane did pretty well stepping in with. I got some first pair time as well, and I'll send Butters back down. I don't think anybody's going to claim him.
Here's hoping not.
And how do we do with our mostly healthy except for Solming lineup? We lose 5-3 to the Rangers.
Our defense is really important to our team success.
We've got, I think, 3 Hall of Famers on the D right now, though Savard is getting a little old. Okay, this is the trading deadline, the 10th. Yeah, we are on the deadline, so what is on the block? Ooh. Nick Labette, who we lost in the expansion draft, I think, to Washington. Or did we trade him? No, expansion
Z
draft.
Bartel, welcome. Thanks for coming in. And excellent question here. He goes, thoughts on the Pionk extension? And the correct answer to that is I'm happy with it. It's less than he would have got on the open market. Maybe a year longer than I would have liked.
So trading block is looking kind of pathetic here.
But for a right-handed defenseman. Yeah, that was the problem. That's why I looked at Ernie Hickey before.
Yeah, well, Mike Busniak, real life from the Flyers in this game in Minnesota. He's there, 2-star, and then there's really nothing after that. Dwight Schofield, Skonan the Barbarian. And the Miners, yeah, really thin for defense.
I am happy with the Alex Alfaro extension, although again a little bit more money than I thought I would have liked him for, but at the same time he would have got more on the open market.
We got a roster spot. Let's see.
Tomlinson's development spot is not blocked because at some point DeMello is going to start regressing and DeMello moves down.
I'm not going to cheat by offering draft picks like some people tried to do.
I didn't do it. I wanted to do it, and then you started crying. Tomlinson would be fine having another year in the AHL. And when there's an injury, because there's always an injury, he'll be fine getting called up.
Okay, I'll go 2 for 1 because Minnesota's got 2 players under contract. It's kind of weird doing a deal with the Stars because these guys are all going to wind up on the same team very soon anyhow.
Z Bartel, if you think he wouldn't have been blocked, it's Shen who would be the bigger issue. And Shen's signed for another year yet, so I don't think he ever would have been on the team.
Okay, so we're going to get Busniak and a guy I don't really care about for Bernie Johnson, who's in the farm team, and I traded Rick Bonus away at him.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Miller's signed for another year too. That's why I said I don't think Samuelson's going to be on the team next year anyways. I am hopeful for playoffs. Again, I'm going to every game.
Which will hopefully be more than 2.
I think I got a good feeling.
Okay, so that's trading deadline. We did get Mike Busniak from Minnesota as sort of a spare part. He can play right wing too. So going forward, go in a D. Just a little insurance in case we run into injuries again. Not that that would happen.
Also, I'd just say, Jeff, here, 18-2-1.
What was 18-2-1? The Jets?
When I went to
Oh,
the
you.
Jets games this year, that was the record, 18-2-1.
I thought you'd only been to one loss.
They lost on Sunday versus Edmonton when they were playing half their AHL team.
No, so when it looks like Vancouver's getting a PWHL team,
Interesting.
so we might actually have a hockey team that makes the playoffs next year.
I think Stanley will be in until something happens. Yes. I don't say I'm thrilled about it, but him with Shen is actually okay, other than the lack of foot speed.
It's like saying the Titanic is okay except for the big hole in the side of it.
Hey, Shen's played well and done everything they wanted him to. If their fifth and sixth defensemen are playing 14 minutes a night, or even 12 minutes a night, that's fine.
And we blow out
The
our
issue,
future merger partner, the Stars. Sorry, 8-0. Go ahead.
yeah, they need some help.
Yeah, and can't get by Washington. Another tie against them. And Eric Vale gets
FN
hurt.
fan YT, actually, that would have been opening weekend. I was at that game as well. That
Flex.
Mark Shafley face-off goal with no time left on the clock, basically, was right in front of me.
Eric Vale with the rare flexor pronator strain. Don't see that a lot.
Fun.
And 9 games left in the regular season. I think we're up to the 80-game schedule now. Double check that. Yep, 9. And the struggling Boston Bruins next. 5-1 win. Is Orr playing for them still? Yep, he's still healthy.
FM fan, I will say to you, he says, great atmosphere in Winnipeg. This year, it's been great atmosphere, but there's nothing like playoffs. Although, you know what's actually kind of nice is they don't have terrible game times.
Oh, they released the scheduled the game times for the playoffs already?
Well, for the Jets, anyways.
Yeah. You're not
I
getting
think for a
what
bunch of the
can
other
that
ones
move
too.
around though?
No, well, the first four are set.
Right.
So game one is not tomorrow, Saturday at 5 Central Time. Game two is Monday at 6:30, which is going to be a little tight. Make it work. And then game three sucks because it's at 8:30 or 9 o'clock at night in St. Louis. And then it's a afternoon game for game
Wait,
four.
what? Why are they starting at 8:30? Isn't St. Louis the same time zone as you?
Yeah, it is. Central Division gets screwed. Repeatedly gets screwed
That's a ridiculous
on
time
time
for a
stuff.
game, though.
Yeah. This is the problem. Like when Winnipeg, see, this is part of the problem that they don't talk about enough. When Winnipeg played Vegas in the first round a couple years ago, Winnipeg was starting their games at 8:30 or 9 o'clock at night in Winnipeg. So you have Vegas starting at their regular time in Winnipeg, and Winnipeg starting 2 hours later. Like
Another
mentally,
shutout
that's
win over
that's tough on
Minnesota.
guys.
Yeah.
Like you're taking guys right out of their rhythm. It's awful for everybody, Z Bartel, or at least the fans of the teams and the places.
Yeah, another win
So
over
the
the
Central
defending
Division
Cup
is just
champion Sabres.
we're not East, we're not West.
And now we lose Willie Lindstrom for 1 to 2 months. Starting to get injuries here. Who do I call up? I think Mark Lofthouse, was he our first rounder in the last draft? Second.
Z Bartel, of course. Jess forces us to take Canucks. I force us to take Jets.
Second rounder. Okay, so Mark Lofthouse will get a game. Willie Lindstrom is going to go on the injured list because I have to make room for him.
The bigger question is, what jersey am I wearing to game one?
Because that'll make a difference. All right, well, presumably you're going to wear a white one.
Well, yes, but I have my Heritage Classic one that I've been wearing all year, which is Hellebuck. I have my original Heritage Classic, which is Shifley. I have my Reverse Retro 2.0, which is Adam Lowry. And then I have my brand new, still not worn yet. What is the exact term for it? It's the Away, but there's a special. It was an Addy Zero clearance, but it's not the Addy Zero. It's like the next step up. Or Addy Zero Prime Green, but it's closer to like what they actually wear. No, not the Prime. It's Prime. It's the next thing up. It's Domestic, I think maybe has Prime Green Domestic, and that's a Dylan Sandberg one I just got.
Just winding down the season here. We're comfortably in first place and shut out the
No,
Hawks
it's not a
again.
Fanatic, Z Bartel. I might be part of the MIC thing, but it's not a Fanatics. Honestly, it'll probably be the Hellebuck one, but good to have options.
5-1 win over Detroit. I think this is going to be our lowest point total in a few years, but still on top of the league.
Yeah.
Okay, Andre Savard finally back. So we're getting some of the injuries back in time for the playoffs. Vale still day to day. And this, I think, is the final game of the season against Pittsburgh. Throw Huron in. And we lose 4-3 to the Penguins in our final regular season game. But still, 110 points. First place in the league, and I think that's actually our worst season in, about 5 years. Still a cup favorite, so I would say. And Eric Vale is healthy. Take a quick look at our season stats for the playoffs. Trottier had a great year, even though he wasn't the first line center for the last little while. Andre Savard with a surprisingly strong season. Jean Pronovost still producing.
Thanks for coming out, Z Bartel.
Leach and Hedberg, not
FM.
a ton of points.
Well, they've been hurt so much.
10 games for Hedberg and only a couple for Leach. But yeah, a lot of injuries.
FM fan says, poor Jeff having to recode teams into the game with Penticton and Chilliwack joining.
Yeah, no, it's not bad. It'll be a fun WHL season next year.
Penticton's easy enough. I'm not sure Chilliwack you'd want to put in until they have ownership.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll probably get it, but...
Okay, just a quick look at the goalie stats.
Chilliwack's had, what, 2 or 3 failed WHL teams? Plus an AHL team?
Yeah, not a great history. They've done a fine in the BCHL, but anything above that, they seem to struggle, although the area is still growing, so population may be a little bigger. And good goaltending numbers all around. Strong season from Huron as the backup. But now we are into the playoffs. Award nominations. Trottier gets a Hart nomination. That's good. Not a Vezina nomination for Melange.
I don't know necessarily that they'll move a team to the East Division.
Yeah, it's not like when they had Kootenay that they could move back and forth. I'm not sure
Well, they
who they
could end
would.
up doing like an AHL style schedule and do it more weighted by point percentage.
And pretty good crop of Calder candidates. Doug Wilson, huge first season in Detroit. Joey Mullen did pretty good in LA, but it's. Oh, I don't know. Bossy hurt his knee, I guess, near the end of the season, so Wilson might sneak by him there.
It's also possible that they end up getting another team or two in the Alberta, probably.
Trottier gets a nomination for Selke. No wing. Trottier also nominated for the Lindsay, so. And we had another Coach of the Year nomination. So this is the last year of the play-in round thing where they play the three best of three first rounders. So the Leafs knock off the Penguins in 2. Chicago over the Islanders. And Sabres, who have to go to the that
Play-in round.
early play-in round thing before, despite winning the Cup last year, get by Detroit. And the Canucks get knocked out. The Canucks actually made the playoffs. Get knocked out by the Rangers, swept. So all
Well,
of the
connect with their veteran team.
not quite as veteran with Hal gone. And we get the Leafs in the second round, first round for us. Montreal and
Okay,
Rangers.
you cannot lose this series. If you lose this series, you're never controlling a team again on our streams.
That would be a good way to go out with a loss to the Leafs in the first round.
FM fan says,
Speaking of
Adam, wouldn't
Leafs,
it seem odd that Penticton goes to the BC, and if they add Chilliwack, they would give Western Conference 13 teams to the East 11? Not really.
Nah, they've had unbalanced teams lineups before.
Unbalanced conferences are not the end of the world. Again, the AHL does it fine.
Game 1 against the Leafs. 4-2
They
win.
could go crazy and insane and take the CFL style with crossovers and whatnot.
That's kind of tough in the playoffs, though. If you're riding buses,
Wow.
CFL teams could fly. Game 2 against the Leafs after the Game 1 victory. Close, but we get out a 4-3 overtime win. Trottier 15 minutes into the overtime. We've lost Dan Maloney, but he's not showing up injured. Sorny did it day-to-day. See if he's ready for the next one. Oh, and Salming is back skating again, so we may get him back for the second. Well, maybe not the second round. At least the final, worst case. I'm going to put LeBratton in for Maloney, because Maloney's knee is still hurting. Move Tardif up into that second line spot. 4-3 win over the Leafs. Game 3, and on the edge of a sweep. And now we lose Reggie Leach. Ooh, major whiplash, 1 to 2 months. I don't think we can... oh, we can delay treatment on that. Yes, we will. We won't keep him on the first line, but I really need Lindstrom to get back soon. Lumley seems to have done well when he's gotten chances on the first line. I'm going to give him this game just to see what happens, because it's, yeah, 6-3 win over the Leafs. So we sweep the Leafs. Well, Willie Lindstrom is nearly healthy, apparently. Might as well bring both of them up, because we've got the unlimited roster in the off-season. Or playoffs, rather. Salming day to day. Oh, Schubert's got a sore ankle now. And we've got the Rangers in the second round who swept the Canadians. Sabres still hanging in there. They beat Atlanta 4-2 and Chicago over the Blues. So us and the Rangers and Buffalo and Chicago. And put Lane in for Schubert for game one. Try Leach on the first line for the first game, but that'll probably change for the second one. 4-0 shutout. Sean Garrett and goal for the Rangers. Okay, and now Lane managed to get hurt. Fractured tibia, 2 to 3 months, so he is gone.
Probably play through it.
I can delay treatment, okay. Bobby Bond style. Well, I'm not putting him in the lineup, but he's going to play on a broken leg.
Huh? I mean, that makes sense. With we had what's his name on our team initially, who was an original SEAL, Bobby Bond.
Yeah. Huh. Okay. Oh, Maloney is healthy again, so LeBron can come out. So somebody is recovering at least. Hall of Fame nominees. Anybody interesting? Not particularly. Go with Ab McDonald, just because I think he was still active at the start of this game. Yeah, it's okay. Second game against the Rangers and 4-2 win. 6 playoff wins in a row. Any complaints yet, Adam?
Sorry?
No complaints yet?
Not yet.
Okay, Lindstrom is healthy. So
other than you injuring everybody.
I'm totally doing that on purpose. So Lumley comes out. And Schuberg, oh great, we got Schuberg's in, but now Vadnais has got a bruised jaw and he's day to day, so.
Boiled Egg 1974 says, great content, injure everyone. Yeah. Jeff's going to make sure when Cleveland's done, they are really done.
See, I'm blaming this on you for wearing them out.
FM fan YT said, being a Bulldogs fan in the OHL, being out east, injuries can take a big part in the playoffs. Lardis, who just scored 70 goals in the regular season, and then he gets injured in game 2. Oshawa player gets suspended 2 games, and the Bulldogs lose 2 straight. Goes to so how much injuries can impact a series. Yeah.
And the Rangers beat us in overtime. Salaps Jr., 6 minutes into overtime, so we finally lose a playoff game. But more importantly, we've almost got Boris Salming back. Reggie Leach down to 42%, so I think Lumley's going to have to go in for him. Game 4 against Rangers with us up 2-1, and we come out with a 3-2 win, so one more to finish the series off. And Salming is healthy-ish, 80%. I'm going to let him get back to 100%. I'm not going to take the risk. Same with Leach. So I think we can finish him off with this lineup. And yeah, apparently we can. 9-0 win. 5-point game from Dan Maloney, of all people.
It's as expected, obviously.
And I'll agree with the media's praise of Robinson. So that finishes that series. What's happening in the other one? Buffalo and Chicago are tied 2-2. So we're going to get another crack at... no, it doesn't look like it. Hawks won in 7 games. So we get, instead of getting to avenge ourselves against Buffalo for the loss last year, we get the Hawks. So I've got no idea what the Hawks have been doing this year. Have they got Bobby Hull is still hanging around. 39 years old. Still productive. Yeah, some familiar names there. Nothing good in goal. Chico Russian goal. So it's not a bad team, but this is absolutely one we should be able to beat. And again, we thought that about Buffalo last year. Salming is healthy. What do I do with the lines here? No, I did that wrong. I take put something back up for Bosniak. Now I want Vadney on the second pair. Okay, there's Vadney in the second pair, and Salming goes in for Savard. And then Schubert goes out for Savard, that's right. And let's Leach at 80%, so he can try to play the game, play game 1. That line up okay, yeah, let's see how that does. 5-2-1 game 1.
Okay.
Swap Lindstrom up to the first line just to give Leach a little less playing time. 4-1 win game 2. And Leach down to 59%, so I think Lumley will play in game 3 for him. Can we go up 3-0? Yeah. Oh, no. That's not good. 6-0 shutout for Resch and the Hawks. Okay, putting Leach back in then. Apparently we need him. Up 2-1, game 4. And 6-3 wins, so we can win it with our next one. Back in Cleveland / Richfield, and Robinson managed to get hurt. Bruised cheekbone, he can play through it. And what might be our final game here? And it is 5-3 win, and we go out as Stanley Cup champions. Well, not bad. Only lost 2 games in the playoffs. Take a quick look at our stats during the playoffs, I mean. Well, Eric Vail, who looked like he was kind of headed downhill at one point in the season, had a great playoff, so he might be the Conn Smythe winner. Hedberg as well. Trottier, kind of disappointing for him after the big regular season. And Meloche in goal. What do you do? Yeah, not bad. Oh, did I start around in one game somehow? Huh.
Egg says, imagine winning the cup and still having to merge with Minnesota.
Yeah. So does this mean Minnesota gets to have the Stanley Cup parade?
You couldn't do that.
Or they have a parade down the highway to the empty Richfield Coliseum?
Yes, obviously.
I'm just going to wind this down. Oh, not going to attempt to re-sign anybody because that's Minnesota's problem. Now we get one last Hall of Fame ballot. Delvecchio, Havlicek, and we just mentioned Bob Vaughn, so why not? And just want to see how the World Hockey Association turned out this year. Quebec Nordiques winning the Avco Cup. Oh, your Jets got upset at some point. Yeah, first round by the Oilers. And Dennis Hull, who left us for Birmingham, had a pretty good year, 87 points in 64 games.
Oh, good for him.
But the WHA is also about to become a thing of the past because they've only got one season left in them. Hey, our contract got expanded. Great news. And the last award ceremony for us, Gilbert Perreault wins the Hart playing with the Canucks. Larry Robinson gets the Smythe. Yeah, reasonable. Played pretty well coming back from the injury. Doug Wilson over Mike Bossy for the Calder. Ron Greshner, we got out of the WHA, gets the Norris. Rick Mahar in Vancouver with the Selke, which he even didn't realize. Yeah, eventually he did, but it was well into the 80s. Dan Bouchard for the terrible LA Kings still managed to have a .918 save percentage on the worst team in the league. It's the Vezina. And we didn't get the Adams Award.
That's unfortunate.
And decent point score. Oh. Distribute the point improvements for all that it matters. Now it's June 30th, so I'm just going to save that under a separate name. So I've still got the save as of the very end of the stream. But now what's going to happen is we are going to merge with this is the end of the game for streaming purposes, but we will, although I may do a little follow-up at some point. But we are merging with the Minnesota North Stars, so we've got a little bit of time here. I'm just going to take you through that quickly, and we can see where everybody winds up. Because there's going to be, the Stars were actually in decent shape in this game, unlike in real life, where they were the last place, I think last place or second to last in the season before the merger. So this is basically going to be a monster team coming out of combining the two of them.
Yeah.
But curious to see just how that turns out, and deliberately leaving some guys unsigned, so we'll probably see some guys, a few of them head off to the. Oh, it looks like, you did resign a lot of them. Okay, so.
Oh, that was to be nice. They should be. We didn't know that the team was ending.
Forgot we had all the custom jerseys in that, so it took a second to copy. Okay. Say goodbye to the Barons.
Dun, dun, dun.
So they've been...
We were seeing these contracts back in 77, 78 when someone making 150K now. Now they're making 10 million.
Yeah. I mean, it was good money back then, but still comparatively much, much smaller. And the NHL drops down to 17 teams. See? We are gone. And now you've got this crazy team in Minnesota with all of our guys merged into them. So we'll see what the AI does with them. We've got the dispersal draft coming up as well. So basically this is just a hands-off game for us from this point. But I want to see how the dispersal draft goes. Okay, so yeah, there are a few guys. This is, I mean, the real life dispersal draft. There was really nothing of particular value given out, but these are the players who went to the basically each non-playoff team got to select a player off the combined Cleveland Minnesota roster after Minnesota protected a few. Had a can't remember exactly how many they had to protect, but wasn't enough this time. So Don Lever. Winds up in L.A. Alf Nielsen goes to Boston. Eric Vale going to Washington. Bill Clement to Toronto. Actually, 3 of them were from Minnesota, so looks like they're keeping our team a little more intact. But yeah, look at this ridiculous
FM
roster.
Fan asks, what happens when if you leave them to become free agents?
A lot of them. Yeah, the rights. I think the rights transferred to Minnesota. If I remember, that's how we got it set up. So Minnesota may be able to sign them, but a lot will probably go to the WHA. But look at this D the Minnesota team has. Our guys, Robinson, Greshner, Vadnais. I don't see Savard. Did he retire? Salming. Plus, and they already had Mark Howie and Turnbull. Ron Stakos, another pretty good defenseman for Pittsburgh. Matt Swaltin, longtime Swedish national team defenseman that never played in the NHL. And then that is mostly our roster up front. Oh, and they've got Guy Lafleur too. And what's that? Oh, the Lemaire they let go to free agency. Oh, Savard
retired?
No, Savard just didn't make the cut.
He's in the minors.
Yeah. And Denny Aaron, Bob Sauvé, both good NHL goalies. Greg Millen just passed away. Oh yeah, right. We drafted him.
Yeah.
So and Doug Sotard was Jet for a while and Ranger. So basically 6 NHL caliber goalies in the lineup.
That's a pretty good looking team.
Just out of curiosity, I'm gonna stick in Do Not Disturb.
I was gonna say, should see how the WHA draft goes.
Draft?
Well, to rebuild their teams.
Oh, the expansion draft next year, you mean?
Oh, are we still 1 year? I thought, okay, I was
Yeah.
thinking we still had one more year.
You're separated?
I think it's... Yeah.
Actually,
Never mind then.
I'm just going to change the autosave to yearly. And let's just tear through this really fast and just see how the 78-79 season turns out for the combined team.
I would assume Minnesota just destroys everyone.
You never know. I'll just do this totally hands-off.
FM fan says, I mean, wouldn't your GM be a free agent? Yes.
Yep. And yeah, Minnesota, they were 8-0 to start the season. Anybody? Oh, wow, what's going on with the Capitals? How'd they get so good? Washington's actually giving them a run for their money. But yeah, ridiculous record, 28-4-3. And oh yeah, Lafleur and Trottier on the same line, because that's balanced. Yeah, Lafleur putting up a ridiculous number of points with his super team.
There's a shocker.
So yeah, basically what winds up, the combined team winds up being better than the 76-77 Canadians that had like the highest winning percentage in modern history. And the Stars keep the cup string going. Yep, they do. So yeah, they absolutely, the combined team 68-5-7.
Is that good? I
Yeah,
think that seems good.
that does seem good. What happened in the playoffs? The Leafs took them to 6 games in round 1, and the Canucks nearly knocked them off in round 2, and then they swept Atlanta in the 3rd round. So what did the player stats look like?
The saddest part is that is we got Minnesota a cup. 145 points. Oh my goodness.
Yep. And Salming 110 as a defenseman. Pronovo still, yeah, this is mostly our team. Who wound up, did Milosh get the, Milosh and Sauve wound up as the goalies. Pretty much splitting time. Sauve kind of pushed him out. So it looks like Minnesota made a few moves. Not seeing. Oh no, sir. They did wind up bringing up Serge Savard, so he got to play a little on this team. And what was going on with Washington that they did so well? Goaltending is awful. Dave Dryden and Dunk Wilson. D is not too impressive. Nothing really. Is this all on Dennis Marook? Oh, Charlie Simmer too. Okay, that helps. But yeah. Oh, they got Eric Vales from us. Yeah, the team does not look like a 96-point team. Although they did go out to Vancouver in the first round, so kind of fell back to earth there. And Vancouver was pretty bad. And the final WHA season. Jets were the regular season champions and swept New England. Oh, and swept the Oilers in the first round too, and win the last AFCO Cup. So there we go, Adam. Your Jets get a championship.
Hooray!
Anybody familiar? Claude Saint-Sauveur, pretty good WHA guy. Bob Bourne, the Islanders. Yeah, it's a decent team. And some kid named Gretzky playing in Indianapolis. Don't know what'll happen to him. They'll be going out of business. So do you want to see how the WHA teams get carved up? I'm just going to advance it.
Carved up, just see what the Jets become.
Take a second to get through the games here. Okay, so the WHA is dead. And when did the draft draft
Too
schedule.
late overkill.
I'll just play into the. I'll just give them a month, give them time to assign people to. Okay, so what the Jets wind up becoming is. There we go. Jet legend Pierre Hamel winds up back, and we're back where he belongs. Now, they did get Paul Coffey in the draft.
Well, that's helpful.
Sillaps looked like they
Better
picked
than
him up
Jimmy
from New
Mann.
York in the expansion draft. Bourne they held on to.
Bowman they held on to. Okay.
Yeah, Kirk Bowman. Claude Saint-Sever was their MVP, I guess.
Doug Risenborough. Okay. Bobby Hall's still there? Or is there now? He must have came there in the draft because he was with Chicago still.
Wait, he should. Oh, how did that happen? Yeah, picked in round 10. So I guess the Hawks figured he was retired. That's funny. And speaking of Halls, where did Dennis wind up?
Is that Tiger Williams too?
Tom Williams.
Quebec.
Yeah,
Makes
winds
sense.
up with the Nordiques. Where did Gretzky go? Let's see. Nope, not in Hartford. By process of elimination, does Gretzky wind up in Edmonton? Yes, he does. So the Oilers have Gretzky and pretty much nothing else. Stefan Pearson, Dan Maloney.
They got a decent goalie. Rick Lay.
But yeah, the Oilers can build around Gretzky. And what are the Stars? They must have gotten picked over pretty good in the expansion draft, but still, they still got Savard around.
Had to call him up though because they lost somebody else.
Kachid and Sobchuk from the. Oh no, he was in the NHL. Yeah, they mostly kept the team together, but they're getting a little old. Okay, I'm just going to tear through this season. We'll see how this season ends up, and that will be the end of the stream.
While you do that, I'm going to do the wind-up then.
Yep, go ahead.
Oh, thank you very much for tuning into the Franchise Hockey Manager stream. We typically stream Wednesday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/Franchise Hockey Manager, as well as twitch.tv/OOTP Developments. But right now our streams are a little bit flexible as the NHL playoffs are on, and, well, Adam wants to watch all the Jets games, and Jeff wants to watch
Shut up.
hockey occasionally. So our streams are archived on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/OOTP Developments as well. We stream archives typically going live Saturdays at about 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for our European viewers. You can also reach out to us on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Franchise Hockey Manager. We're on Bluesky at Franchise Hockey, as well as Threads, Instagram, or any other social media. And of course, you can come down to our official website, which is ootpdevelopments.com. Click on the community button in the top right-hand corner, which will bring you to official forums so you can come talk about Franchise Hockey Manager, Out of Park Baseball, Perfect Team Go, or anything else you wish to discuss. Jeff?
Well,
How are this?
some guy named Gretzky is fighting with Perot for the point leaders, and Stars lost a few more games this season, but they're still the best team in the league. And I still see them. And yep, they won again, beating the Leafs in the finals. So did Gretzky wind up as the scoring leader? No, 11 points back of Gilbert Perreault. And Jets 34. They're almost 500 in their first season. That's not bad.
That's significantly better than real life.
Nordiques were pretty terrible, but yeah, well, I guess. Oh yeah, Coffey with a great rookie year, much better than he had in real life. He only had about 30 points in his rookie year. I'm not seeing Bobby Hull anywhere though. Did they trade him? Oh, is he? Nope. Right. What's going on? Oh, he declined to 2 stars.
Well, he was on 2 stars when we looked at him before.
Oh, I didn't notice that. So
Yeah.
yeah, he's been. Which I mean, that's pretty much how it ended in real life for him too.
I mean,
That
he's 50 years old.
yeah, 27 games in that last after the merger. In this one, only 5. So he gets a little bit of a Jet career, but still a good first season for the Jets. And off to a promising start, but that is where we will wind up. That is the end of our Cleveland, California, or Oakland Seals, California Golden Seals, Cleveland Barons stream, which all things considered, I think went pretty well. How many cups do we get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 cups on our own, and then we got an assist on these last 2 by Minnesota. So I'm going to call out a fairly successful stream, Adam.
I think so.
So next week, this will be switching things up and going to the modern NHL. We can do the Chicago one, you think?
You make that decision for what you want to do.
Yeah, should be a pretty good challenge. You see, there's apparently rumors going around about Bedard wanting out.
No, he came out and was like, absolutely not.
Well, of course he's going to say that, but yeah.
Don't give yourself hope. He wants to stay in Chicago. He doesn't want to go back to Vancouver.
I can dream. Okay, so that's where we will wind it up, and an interesting stream. Thanks for coming out, and we will see you back here next week.